Why do 80% of businesses in Rincon choose Rincon Rocks Radio? Because they know the power of ultimate promotion. Rincon Rocks Radio and Promotions is your ultimate partner for unbeatable marketing deals. Imagine this, for less than $5 a day, you get a quarter-page ad in our monthly digital and print books, featured on Amazon, plus a custom business video and daily social radio commercials. Sounds incredible, right? Need more? Upgrade to our half-page ad at $200 per month for a full 1-minute radio ad, a video that can be updated weekly, and half-page digital and print exposure. Talk about value. And if you want the full package, our full-page ad is less than $100 per week. That's personalized video, full-page print and digital ads, and live remote coverage with broadcasts every day of the week. Don't miss out on the chance to make your business shine. Contact Rincon Rocks Radio and Promotions at 1-787-546-3252 or visit rinconrocksradio.com. Let's rock your business together.
And we are live. Rincon Rocks Radio live here with Miss Carolyn Renee. Miss Carolyn, can you hear me now? Evidently not. Looks like she may not be able to hear me. Check this out here. See what we got going on. Okay, so we're live. We've got live audio going out. Miss Carolyn, you can't hear me? Okay, so we're live. We've got live audio going out. Miss Carolyn, you can't hear me? Okay, so we're live. We've got live audio going out. Miss Carolyn, you can't hear me? Okay, so we're live. We've got live audio going out. Miss Carolyn, you can't hear me? Okay, so we're just going to get started anyway. We're going to try it through a different communication series here. So at the end of the day, we're doing Travel Tuesdays, and I've got some media for you to advertise. RCR, Global World Travel. We'll get started with that. Here we go.
What if your next vacation could change your relationship forever? It's not just about the destination. It's about the moments that bring you closer together. At RCR Global World Travel, we don't just book trips. We curate life-changing experiences. Whether you're rekindling romance in the Caribbean, bonding as a family in Europe, or finding peace together on a retreat, we specialize in travel that transforms relationships. Our consultants personally design each journey across the United States, Latin America, Africa, and beyond. Because the right trip doesn't just give you photos, it gives you a stronger connection. Ready to plan your transformative escape? Call us today at 1-833-477-7477.
Okay, thanks, Cam. We're having a little technical difficulty on one of our ends, but hopefully you can hear and you can see me. Good evening to all of your listeners. My name is Robin, and I, along with my business partner, Carolyn Renee, are RCR Global World Travel. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or through our website. And the phone number, I think from time to time, you may see it at the bottom of your screen. So feel free to follow us, and most importantly, reach out to us at 1-833-477-7477 for all of your travel needs. So I want to do a little business before we actually get into tonight's Travel Tuesday. We are a boutique travel consultancy, and what that means is that we provide end-to-end travel services both domestically and internationally. We curate or plan or customize travel experiences based upon you, the traveler's needs. We do offer travel packages that can be booked on an individual basis or a group basis. But with so many destinations in the world, it is impossible to curate that specific package that travelers are seeking. Therefore, for the most part, our services are on demand. That means when you're ready to travel, you give us a call. Now that we have that business part out of the way, we are excited to share with you our new platform, Travel Tuesday. Each week, we endeavor to bring you interesting points of travel about the travel industry, as well as information about travel destinations specific to a particular segment of traveler, as well as travel destinations that we are working on. But I'd like to first start today's session with the big elephant in the room. Most people are concerned about traveling during these turbulent times, whether it's the cost of airfare, gasoline, or the uncertainties of traveling through airports. RCR GlobalWorld Travel strives to provide travel destinations that are safe and affordable. The other thing that I want to share with our listening audience tonight is the fact that there is no cost to you to use our services. And I'm reading from my notes with me here. The cost that you would typically pay is the same cost that you would see if you were using some type of online search engine. Of course, with those search engines, you have very little customer service. But here at RCR GlobalWorld Travel, we just take out all the worry and stress of planning the details so you can enjoy the travel experience. The other thing that's really important when we think about travel in terms of Travel Tuesdays and travel trips, everyone should always be travel ready. And what that means, planning in advance. Usually 4 to 6 months if you're traveling domestically here in the United States, or anywhere from 9 to 12 and even 24 months in advance if you're traveling internationally, so that you can get the best pricing, or that we can get the best pricing for you, okay? You also want to make sure that you have the proper ID. Here in the US, if you're traveling domestically, you don't need a passport, but you do have to have a real ID. And if you don't have a real ID, then of course your passport will be a good option as well. When you are traveling internationally, you do have to have a valid passport. And that passport must be valid 6 months after the return date of your travel. So let's say you want to go to Paris and you want to stay for 2 months. Well, you got to be 2 months, and then 6 months after, then it has to be valid. And most countries outside of the United States really stick hard to that rule. It has to be valid. You might be able to get out of the United States if it's not valid 6 months, but when you get in those countries, it's a really, really, really strict rule. So my word of advice is to plan in advance and to make sure you've got the proper travel documents. Another thing that's really important, I do a lot of traveling, and I got to tell you, the airports are always crowded. No matter what's going on, people are traveling to and fro, whether or not here in the United States or outside of the United States. If you haven't done so already, you want to make sure you have some type of pre-TSA travel documents. And you can get that through Clear and through the TSA themselves, or you can actually get a global access if you're going to do some international travel. And when you go through those applications and processes, you're going to get something that's called your known traveler number, your KTN. And you really want that if you're traveling internationally, so that when you come back through customs, you don't have to be on those long lines, and it'll save you a lot of time, not only in the US airports, but also if you're traveling internationally. The last thing that I do want to mention in terms of traveling in general is to always travel with travel insurance. Years ago, most people got travel insurance when they were going on international trips, but you really want them even for your domestic trips. For those of you who do their bookings online, you will notice that even the airline offers travel protection when you're booking a flight. And this will usually cover your flight cancellation, your travel disruptions, your baggage loss, medical insurance, and your life insurance. Now, people often ask me, well, that's an expense. I mean, in reality, it is an expense, but you've already paid the bigger expense by paying for the trip. Why not protect it? And on average, it's going to cost you somewhere between 5 and 10% of the cost of your travel. So let's say you book a trip and it has about it's about $5,000. So you can expect to pay about $50, maybe $100 addition for travel insurance. You certainly can pick and choose certain types of the insurance packages if you don't want the full package. Sometimes the cost of insurance is based upon where you're going, so keep that in mind. But just keep in mind that you really do want to have travel insurance. It's going to save you in the long run. It's kind of like car insurance. You don't think about it until you need it, but when you need it, boy, are you glad that you have it, okay? So from time to time over the next several weeks, I'm probably going to mention these elements in some way, but if Cam is ready to take a break and go to commercial, that is fine. And I'll come back to you with this week's look at Travel Tuesday.
Thank you, Ms. Robin.
You're going to die without ever seeing the pyramids. Harsh, but true for most people. It doesn't have to be you. RCR GlobalWorld Travel is taking a small group to Egypt, October 30 to the 10th of November 2026. The Great Pyramid, the Sphinx, ancient temples in Luxor, and a luxury cruise on the Nile. Not a rushed tourist trap. Expert guides and luxury stays. We handle every detail. So, will you finally see the pyramids? Or keep putting it off? Book now with RCR GlobalWorld Travel or call 1-833-477-7477. Your bucket list is waiting.
And we're back.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. I believe that is our Egypt trip, and I'll talk about that a little bit later as we go through the show. Remember, a few moments ago, I said we've got some packages, but for the most part, everything that we put together for travel is based upon your needs, but we certainly do have some really exciting packages that we'll be talking about not only this week, but next week as well. Okay, this week, I really want to start with, I call it solo travel, not necessarily single travel. And by that, I mean for people who are interested, they may not have a partner or a best friend that would like to travel with them or who are able to travel with them, but they still want to do some traveling. And a lot of our clients who are looking to go places, even if they're going by themselves, they're really interested more in group travel so that they can go and be with other people. And then, of course, meet new travel partners as well. So if you want to go on a trip by yourself, that's great. Let us know. We'll do our best to find a group that, you can kind of go with. If you want to go by yourself, you certainly are free to do that. From our experience, travelers are looking for a lot of different things. Everything from excitement to adventure to fun. And this spans across all groups. It's not really just the 18 or the 25-year-olds, more seasoned and mature adults who are in their 40s or 50s. particularly as we get older and we don't have the children with us. And so the single traveler can just be the middle-aged couple that just wants to go on vacation. They're not single by themselves, but they want to isolate a trip. So that can be a single travel trip as well. And they're looking to do anything from like hiking and water sports and the beach and culture and then overall new experiences, both domestically as well as internationally. Of course, there's a lot of the world to see. So anything beyond the borders of the US are certainly a consideration when you're traveling by yourself. And I don't know if Cam has that video on Las Vegas, but I want to feature Las Vegas as one of the options for singles. And when I say for single travelers, because it provides a lot, not just for, I'm going to say the more adventurous types, but it also provides excitement and adventure for couples, also for families, because Vegas has done a wonderful job of transforming itself from Sin City to actually a vacation mecca. And I don't know how many of your listeners have been to Vegas, but I have from time to time. When people contact me, they will honestly say to me, I really want to go to Vegas. I've never been to Vegas. And it's not really all about the gambling. You don't even have to set foot in the casino sometimes, because there's so many other things that you can do in Vegas, from visiting the hotels. The hotels in themselves is like being on exhibit. Anything from the Bellagio to Paris to the Venetian. I mean, it kind of spans the entire world, and you think you're going someplace other than just being in Vegas. And it's something that typically is a good quick getaway. I say probably 4 or 5 days in Vegas is more than enough, unless you are going to gamble and you don't care how much money you have or how much money you lose. But 4 or 5 days is really a great trip if you go to Vegas. Okay, we're going to look at Vegas in just 1 second. I won't be able
You're going to die without ever seeing the pyramids.
You need to watch this if you hate missing out. Stop scrolling. Start planning. Week of Feb 22-28, 2026 incoming. Monday kicks off with trivia night at Nacho Libre, 7 to 30 p.m. Car 115 kilometers, 11.6, brains and nachos. Also Monday, drawing class, 6 to 7:30 p.m. Casa de la Cultura Isabelina in Isabela. Tuesday, happy hour at Roots, 5-7 p.m. on Calle Progreso. Tuesday night, live music on the pool deck at Casa Isleña, 6 p.m. Wednesday, entre café, música y arte in Mayagüez, 6-10 p.m. Local art and live tunes, same night in Isabela. Noches de Artesanías, 5 or 11 p.m. Thursday, art walk in Rincon, 6 to 10 p.m. Friday, artisan night in Añasco at 6 p.m. Karaoke at Antillano Rincon Cultural at 7 p.m. Saturday, Farmers Market 8-12 to 30 in Aguadilla. Craft Market in Aguada 10 to 6.
Hey, all right. So we're back. I am still loading the Vegas video for Miss Robin. It's taking just a second because when you're loading the videos up and you're live, it takes a little more bandwidth. So we'll keep going there for just a second. We'll show a couple of commercials and then we'll be right back.
Welcome to Connect PR.
Bienvenidos a Connect PR.
A bilingual church in the heart of Aguada, Puerto Rico.
Una iglesia bilingüe en el corazón de Aguada, Puerto Rico.
Where faith is alive and worship is modern.
Donde la fe está viva y la adoración es moderna.
And everyone is welcome.
Y todos son bienvenidos.
At Connect PR, we believe church should feel like home.
En Connect PR creemos que la iglesia debe sentirse como hogar.
A place to connect with God and with people.
Un lugar para conectarte con Dios y con las personas.
And grow in purpose and community.
Y crecer en propósito y comunidad.
Led by Pastor Diane Johnson Seaton.
Guiados por la pastora Diane Johnson Seaton.
And Pastor Camila Rosa.
Y la pastora Camille Rosa.
We're building a life-giving church with passionate worship.
Estamos construyendo una iglesia llena de vida con adoración apasionada.
Relevant teaching. and real relationships.
Enseñanza relevante y relaciones auténticas.
No matter where you're from or what language you speak,
No importa de dónde vengas ni el idioma que hables.
there's a place for you here.
Aquí hay un lugar para ti.
Come as you are.
Okay, don't panic, but spring break is literally 3 weeks away. And if you're like most people watching this, you probably haven't booked anything yet. But here's the thing, you're not screwed. RCR World Travel still has incredible 3-night all-inclusive packages available to the hottest destinations. We're talking Cancun, Riviera Maya, Punta Cana, Montego Bay, and Cozumel. Unlimited food, unlimited drinks, and unlimited fun in the sun. All at prices that won't destroy your bank account. But here's the catch. These deals are disappearing fast. Like, people are booking these packages while I'm making this video. So if you want to turn your spring break from a disaster into the trip everyone's going to be jealous of, you need to call 1-833-477-7477 right now. Or visit rcrglobalworldtravel.com. Don't be the person scrolling through everyone else's vacation photos wishing you were there. Can we normalize going to Vegas alone without people thinking you're having a breakdown? Because honestly, Vegas might be the perfect solo destination. Think about it. World-class nightlife where everyone's looking to have fun, pool parties where you'll instantly meet people, and incredible shows that are just as amazing whether you're with someone or flying solo. Plus, you can take those epic day trips to the Grand Canyon or Red Rock Canyon at your own pace. That's exactly why we're featuring Las Vegas on this week's Travel Tuesdays, our weekly program every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central, focusing on the best summer destinations for singles. Ready to plan your solo Vegas adventure? Call Robin or Carolyn Renee at RCR Global World Travel 8334-777477 because your best trip might just be the one you take alone.
Okay, we're back. All right. Well, you can see from the video, there's a lot to do in Vegas. Yes, certainly it can be a party town, and you can do and have as much fun as you like. But if you want to get away from the Strip, you certainly can go out to take a hike for the day. Go out to this Hoover Dam. You can go to. Believe it or not, there are museums in Vegas, and there are also some museums, or at least some cultural things inside of the hotels that you can actually take advantage of as well. So if you're thinking about getting away for a few days, getting into some warm weather, I'm here in the Midwest. We're kind of getting a little warm right now, but we've had a long winter. And so when I'm looking for something quick, for me, Vegas is like a 3-hour flight. I can go on a Thursday and come back on Monday and have had just a wonderful weekend and have never gone into the hotel, at least the casino. At least I go into the hotel because that's where I have my lodging. Well, before I end the session this evening, I wanted to share with you 2 trips that we are planning for this year. One is a cruise to Bermuda. I should have all of the details in my head, but I have so many dates in my head. I hope I have this straight, so my apologies. It's sailing out of New York into Bermuda. It's a 5-day, 4-night trip. I believe the dates are the 4th through the 7th of October. It is an all-adult, all-inclusive cruise. What that means is all adults is 18 or over. So even if you're going to travel by yourself, a cruise is a good place. You'll meet lots of people. Of course, our pricing is always based on double occupancy. If you are going just solely by yourself and you don't have a roommate, then there will be what we call a single supplement. So that'll be an additional cost. The deposit of $200 is due by the 30th of this month, which is April. And I believe the final payment is in May and or June. Your final payment, and that's the other thing I should probably say when you're thinking about traveling. While we do have convenient payment plans, generally the final payment is due somewhere between 45 and 90 days in advance of when you're traveling. And usually your deposit is somewhere between 50 and 60%. So you kind of want to think about that when you're planning your travel. When you're on the search engines, you generally have to pay for whatever it is you're booking at that moment. We do try to work with people to make sure that we can make the trip as affordable as possible. The other trip that we're having October 30th through November 10th is going to Egypt, and it will include a cultural and city tour of Cairo, and then we'll take a cruise down the Nile for 4 or 5 days and take in all of the architectural and historical sites of Egypt from there. And then we'll spend 3 days in Hurghada, which is like a resort town. So we're kind of like giving you a little historical view of Egypt. And then we're going to have a bit of relaxation and fun on the cruise ship. You'll get on and off the cruise ship every day to go see all of the different sites. And then at the end of the trip, we'll do 3 days at a beach resort, and that should be very, very enjoyable. We do have multiple parts or points of destination. The trip is $5,195, I believe, and it does include all of your travel, your excursions, your hotel, the entire trip. So if you're interested in either one of those trips, please do feel free to pick up the phone and give me a call at 1-833-477-7477. I believe I'm option number 2, but you can always hit option number 1. And if Carolyn picks up the phone, she can help you as well. We're looking to have about 10 or 15 people to go with us. So we try to have manageable groups, not large groups. If that time slot is not convenient for you, let us know. We can put together a curated trip for you to cover the same destinations at a time that is more convenient for you, but it just won't be on a group trip. It'll be on an individual trip. Well, I'll have some more destinations to share with you next week, but thank you so much for listening into our first week of Travel Tuesdays. Cam, I'll give it back to you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Robin James with RCR GlobalWorld Travel, and we will be jumping off, and we will be back next Tuesday. Good to have everybody. Don't forget to call 833-477-7477.
Ever wondered what paradise sounds like? Rincon's best-kept secret is on the airwaves. Rincon Rocks Radio delivers classic rock from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond, but we're so much more than music. Join Dr. Cam behind the scenes and Anita Casanova broadcasting live from Rincon's most interesting locations, including the Thursday Art Walk downtown. We know what's happening in paradise because we are paradise. Birthdays, anniversaries, special requests, we play your hits while keeping you connected to authentic island life. Log on at rinconrocksradio.com or call 787-546-3252. Find us broadcasting live from every business in Rincon. This is your soundtrack to paradise.